we'll just majorly I want to cover the checkpoint. So we'll do one part of it. Before that, I'll just cover the basic theory of about the trail files actually. So trail files, as you have seen in all our examples, that we show two types of trails here, the local trail and the RMT trail here. So local trail is a trail which extract will write it down. Is this diagram fine, or if you like, if you want, I will make another one. Okay, thank you. The thing is, so this is the local trail which extract writes it down. So what will do extract, as we know, it will read the transaction logs and it will write to the local trail. So local trail, why we name it as this? Because it is written in the source server itself. And the pump process, it reads from the local trail and write to the RMT trail, which is for nothing but an input for the replicate to write it down to the target. So that is, and this is in the target server. So source trail is the source, RMT trail at target. So both the extract and replicate work independently since we have the trail at both source and target. Now each trail file contains a file header who records that is as a, header which is stored at the beginning of the file. Each data record in the trail also contains a header as well as a data area. The record header contains information about the transactional environment, and the data area contains the actual data value. So like all these things we can see in the logdom as we did for yesterday. One second, I'll just open my server also. The thing is, whatever that is, the trail file is nothing but it's having all the data which the extract has captured, right? Well, nothing more. We'll learn more on how to see the data through logdom. So that is where logdom is a utility by which you can read the contents of the trail file. So till 11G version, it was maximum 6 digits, and of course the 2 characters. And in 12C, it is 9. All right. And this, I think we already discussed that I mean, in 11G version, we normally face this issue that trail file is reaching the sequence of 989999 and it gets failed after that. So there's a separate Oracle document on how to solve it. So this I cannot show you practically, but yes, I can make you go through the doc ID because I cannot generate so many data so that I can exhaust the trail file. All right. Any doubt up till now?
Hello, am I audible? Unable to
Oh,
hear you.
sorry. Yeah. Thank you. I was on mute. Yeah. Okay, sorry. So I will show you, like, if you see this document here, sorry, this diagram here. So we can see an additional process here, that is the server collector, right? So up till now, well, let me just again draw the diagram. It will be easy for me to explain. Local trail. This is a source, target, extract, local trail here. Then I have my pump here. This we can term it as a one network, and RMT trails here, or replicate here. Oh, sorry, RMT trail, replicate. So this is what we have seen up till now, right? Extract will read from the transactional logs, it will write to the local trail. Pump will read from the local trail and write it to the RMT trail. Replicate will read from the RMT trail and write into the database. Now here is there is another process which comes in between these two, the pump and the RMT trail. So that is the server collector. So actually the server collector is the process which takes the data from the pump and it forms the RMT trail. I kept it for the for later because even if in the first class I tell, tell this, it might be confusing. So it is the server collector process which is started by the manager of the target server, which will take the data which is sent by the pump here and it will form the RMT trails. Is it okay? Clear? Any doubt?
Yeah, no doubt, Srikanth.
Thank you. Okay. Now this is just an overview. Okay. I would not stress on the manager now. I would like to go to checkpoint first. This is the important topic for today. So checkpoint, before that, I'd like to ask you something. Guys. For example, if we have an extract process which is up, okay. For example, the current time is around 10:45 a.m. Now at 11 a.m. you stop the extract and it stopped for 3 hours. 3 hours means 11, 1, 2, and 3 a.m. right? So now current time is 3 a.m. and extract is still stopped. If I start the extract at 3:05 a.m., can you please tell me from which point the extract will start? Will it start from the point where it was stopped, that is 11 a.m., or will it start from the current time? I'm just doing a normal start. Start extract name. If like those who have worked rigorously, it's fine. I mean, don't answer it. But for others, any idea how you think like it should be? Sayyid, Babu, any idea? Bhaskar?
Yeah, mostly it has to start from where it has stopped.
Okay. Others agree?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay. So, how is this po possible? Like, how will extract know from which point to start? So that is where the checkpoints they come in play. So due to the checkpoint file, it will know where it had stopped or where it is writing and all. So let's see a brief on the checkpoint. So Golden Gate checkpoints, okay? So every process, all right, now here, let's consider the extract first, okay? Let me use a color, uh, green color here. So let us focus on the extract only now. Oh, tell me one thing, what is the source of the extract? What is the source of the
Redo.
extract? What is redo, right? Source is redo or archives or transactional logs if it is any other database. So kind of when I say source, right? So this is like read checkpoint, okay? Because it is reading from the uh, redo or okay redo sorry redo or archives. Now, if you see that diagram, so source is this, and what is the output of this is the local trails, right? So I would say level input would be a nice word area. Output would be local trails, right? So this is we can also call it as write checkpoint. Is it okay? Clear these two terms? After that, I will go ahead then. So just say yes or no in the chat. It will be
Yes,
fine.
yes.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
yes, yes.
All right. Now similarly, now okay. Now first let me focus on extract only, right? So input is redo and archive, and output is the local trail. Okay. Then we'll go. Now we'll go here. Okay. Let me show you a brief here. Now here, checkpoint process stores the current read and write positions of a process to test for recovery purposes. Checkpoint ensures that data changes that are marked for synchronization actually are captured by extract and applied to the target by replicate, and they prevent redundant processing. All the process saves its read and write checkpoint in the checkpoint file, which you can use them to recover. So now let me show you this with an example. This is suppose your source database, okay? Let's just let's focus on only extract for now. Okay, the thing is, in my database, I will start some few transactions. So TRX1, let me say that it is started at 9 a.m. All right. TRX for transaction 2 started at 9:05 a.m. Transaction 3 again started at I'll say 9:05. transaction 4 started at 9:30, suppose. Okay, but none of them are committed now, all right? Okay, now tell me one thing. Will, okay, at now current time is around, current time is suppose 10 a.m. now, okay, and in 10 a.m. also none of these four transactions are committed. Now I want to ask, will this this 1, 2, 3, 4 transactions be returned to the trail file?
No.
Okay, everyone agrees? All right. Now, what will happen here? That is the right answer. Since it is not committed, they will not be returned to the trail file. But here, what will extract do here? Extract, now among all these transactions, which is the oldest one? The first one, right? Which is started at 9 a.m. It will have a pointer here, which we call it as read checkpoint, or I'll say oldest read point. Okay, oldest read point. Oldest means it is the oldest transaction, means pointing to the oldest transaction. You understand by this point is the oldest open transaction. Oldest open, yeah, well, that will sound good. Understanding this point? All these are open transaction only, but among these, the oldest is the first one. Understanding this thing? What I mean by oldest open transaction.
Yes. I'm with you.
Others? Babu, Bhaskar,
Yeah. Yeah.
Divya.
Yeah, Shrikant.
Okay, because only after this only I can go ahead. Ashish sir, is it okay?
Yes, Shrikant, no problem.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So the thing is, now here is where I'll come. Now let's take another case here. Now the current time was 10, right? Let me post this. Okay, until here it is 10 a.m. Now this for transaction 2 is committed at 10:05 a.m. Transaction 3 committed at 10:10 a.m. Alright, now what will happen here? Alright, now since these two transactions are committed, what will extract do? It will write these two in the trail file. Okay, understood? And understanding?
Yes.
Okay, and for example, now the time is 10:10, right? The last time is 10:10. Now there is another transaction where transaction 5 started at 10:30 a.m., for example. So now what will happen? Now they will be now here you can see currently I told only two points. That is the oldest read point and the this is what we called as write checkpoint. Since it is writing, like write checkpoint means it will store the information till which trail file it has written, till which sequence number, how much RBA has been written and all. On like which shows that till which trail sequence one number and RBA it is written and all. So it will store these information. Now another transaction has started here, right? So this is the, I would say, the latest one which extract is reading here. So here we will have the current read checkpoint. This will be read checkpoint actually. So currently, if you see, we are having two checkpoints for read. One is the oldest read point and the current read point, and another one is the write checkpoint. So in total three. Is this okay? Clear? Like how extract is trying to read.
Understood.
Okay. Just let me know in case if there is anything, because this is most important. Now here, after this, I will explain this diagram here. Now, if you see here, I mean transaction one, okay, it started here. So this is the oldest open transaction. Open means which has not been committed yet. And then it is doing an insert here. Fine. Then another transaction opens up here. That is transaction 2. Alright. And parallelly transaction 1, it is updated again. Then again for transaction 2. So at this point, both 1 and 2 are not committed. Right. And after that, now 2 is committed here. So since it is committed here, this will go to the trail file. This is the trail file. And then again, after 2, we can see for transaction 3 has started now. It is doing some insert. Then a new transaction again, that is for transaction 4. Then again 3 is committed here. Now since it is again committed, it will be stored in the local trails. And then for transaction 4 is still active here. The thing is, if you see here, checkpoint extract will have a pointer to the very first open transaction or the oldest, and also it will have checkpoint to the current, I would say, active transactions, and of course this will have the right one. Is this okay? Clear? And I will explain the reason why we have all these things, but at least did you understand the diagram and the example?
Yes.
Okay. In case of any doubt, please stop me. Okay. Now, why we are having all these things? Okay. So, um, GoldenGate, like it guarantees that all your data it is safe and it will be replicated. So they say it in the for documentation itself. And but now the thing is how they say it, right? Now, now here, I think I closed that file. Okay, no, it is here only. Okay, I'll start again. Now, for example, why it is having the checkpoint here to the oldest starting trail? Let's see an again example. So for transaction 1 at 9 a.m. it started. Okay, and current time is suppose 11 a.m. Okay, so this process is running long for 2 hours. All right, till now it has not been committed. All right. Now, for example, at 11:05 a.m. for transaction one is uh, like it is I would say cancelled, or removed. All right, cancelled, of course, or it is rollback. I would say rollback at 11.5. So what will happen here? Extract. Now since it is rollback at 11.5, what will extract do? It will just clear away. It will just clear uh, the checkpoint here, and it will point its checkpoint to the next oldest open tra I mean tra transaction here. So just help me out, like which would be the one now? Since transaction one has been rolled back, so it is not required now by the extract, because in extract we will have only committed once only. So now since the transaction one is rolled back, please tell me where will the oldest read checkpoint point now, to which?
Transaction 4.
Okay, others, is it 4? Okay, that is right. Thank you, Sayed. It will be 4, because the transaction 4, because after transaction 1, this transaction 2, 3 are already co committed, so that's fine. And after that, we have 4 and 5 active. But among 4 and 5, the transaction 4 is the active one. Understood? Now, another reason. Now, let's take transaction 4 as an example. So it started at 9:30 a.m. All right. So 9:30 a.m. it started. All right. Now current time is, for example, 1 a.m. So around 3-4 hours, right? Now what? So even at 1 a.m. the extract will still have a pointer here for transaction 4, and at 1:30 a.m. Okay, it should be p.m. actually, when I say 3-4 hours. Sorry for that. So at 1:30 p.m. I'm committing the transaction 4. So at this point, extract understood that this has been committed, and then since it is already having a read pointer here, it will easily put whole of the transaction 4 in the trail file. So that is how extract ensures that even if you're having a long running transaction, extract is still capable to extract it. Why? Because it is having a pointer on that old transactions or on that long transaction, just in case. Now, if it is committed, it will store in the trail. If it is not committed, it will just discard that uh, transaction, and it will go for the next oldest open transaction. Is it okay, clear? Because after this only I will explain to you what issues we face if we don't take care of this. Is it okay, clear? Like how this
Yes, till
this
now
flow
understood.
happened? Others? Because this is really important. If this is not clear, I cannot go ahead then. Just say in
Yeah,
the
that's
chat also. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Now, so now you understood, right? Like how extract guarantees that it will store everything. Now I'm asking you guys, if you want to stop a extract, how will you stop an extract? I need the command in the chat. Anyone, please write the statement. Okay, stop extract name. Everyone agrees, right? But now here is the thing actually. Uh, Actually, I'm not sure if I can show you that case here because I don't have anything long for running here at my place. Anyways, the thing is, whenever you do an info extract, now let us see how to read this first thing, but then I will go in detail with the checkpoint. If you see here any extract, okay, for example, now let's see for integrated one. So here it will give the type of the process, which is extract, all right, extract name. When was it last started? All right, this has nothing to do. This is just an FYI, like I started by yesterday or day before by yesterday. Okay, the status is up running. Checkpoint lag now here. Now this is the actual lag. When I say this, there are two lags actually. If you see here, lag at checkpoint and time since checkpoint. So when I say lag at checkpoint, that is the actual lag. All right, it means like there is thread of transactions, and so it is having the lag. But this time, this thing is time since checkpoint. Okay, the highlighted one. This means that all this information has not been updated until these many times. So here it is only 7 seconds. But if you see, like for the processes who are stopped for so long, see here, this is stopped for 117 hours. It means that for these many hours, the process information has not been updated. So but there can be two things, either it is abandoned, or if it is running here and still you're saying, huge checkpoint time, it means either it is stuck also, or it is processing some really long transaction. These things, because just with an info all, what all you can understand. I'll show again here. Thing is, I'll be giving this notepad file also. All right, so just focus here. Let me choose only one process for now. So this process, for example, ext01. Here, if you see the time since checkpoint is too much, right? So it means that the extract has not been doing any work till these many hours. It means till the time showing this time since checkpoint. Okay, would rather just write this way. So what does time since checkpoint mean? That extract the extract has not been doing any work till these many hours or to have any work uh, until the time specified by the time since checkpoint. So in our case, example, not been doing anything for 117 hours. Is this okay? Understanding? Like what does time since checkpoint mean? Okay, thank you, Sayed. So that's what it means. Like it has not been doing anything for these many hours. So there can be few reasons like it is abandoned for long. Like in my case, we can see above abandoned for long, or it is stuck for long, or some long running transactions are there. All right. And this is the basic reasons it can be. Okay. Now this lag at checkpoint, and now I will explain afterwards like how to handle them, how to actually be sure which of these options is true. Append is fine, but you can see straight away append. But what about these two? I will explain to you afterwards. Right now, well, let me focus on the checkpoint. And lag at checkpoint is the, I mean, in layman term, I'm saying is the actual lag, okay? But the proper definition is the like uh, for a record which is committed at the source end. Means is the time uh, difference between the record committed at the source end and the target end. So that's what it actually means. Okay, but in layman term, I mean, we can term it as an actual lag. Okay. Any doubt up till now? Okay, thank you. Now, when I do the info extract name, right? This is the process ID on which it is for running now. For example, if you ps pipe grep, the process name, here it is. This is the PID through which it is running in the server. So that is what it shows. And this is an integrated one. So it is showing Oracle integrated redo log. And here this will show that the currently where it is for reading now. Okay. Now back to the same question: how to stop an extract? Now you guys know that it is only stop extract name or stop extract name. But before that, okay, very important thing. Okay, before that, always check the checkpoint of the now. Okay, that's so good. I'll show it in first the example. Hmm. Okay, I think I'll have to use a new one. Oh, transaction was suppose started at 9 a.m. Okay, started. Transaction 2 at 9:30 a.m. started. Same way, but transaction 3 at 10 a.m. started. Alright, and at 11 a.m. both transaction 2 and 3 committed. Alright. Now, for example, this is on today's 8th May. Okay, this is 8th May. Okay, and for example, 9th May has come now. Alright, and now here it is for transaction 30 or 20. For example, we started at 10 a or 12 a.m. of 9th May, but still the transaction 1 has not been committed. All right, so this is a really long query or transaction which has been running since more than a day. All right, so here, as you all know, the oldest recovery checkpoint, it will be for transaction 1, which is still of 8th May, Okay, and the current read point would be the today's actually means the current time is 9th May, right? Current day actually I would say. Day is 9th May, so it is reading here. So this one is, I'll write it in the text. Oldest read checkpoint of oldest open transaction. And this is checkpoint of current active transaction. Alright, the latest one. That is the for transaction 30 here. And of course it will have the write checkpoint also, that is to the trail file. So that is understood. I'll not focus on that now. Now, for example, at this point at 12 a.m., for example, if the extract fails and all, if the extract fails or gets appended for any reason, now here is what I am trying to ask, at from which point now after you start the extract. So, for example, extract failed on 9th May at suppose 1 a.m. Now I am asking if I and so now suppose it is 2 a.m. now and I want to start the extract. Now if I just do a start extract at 2 a.m., tell me one thing, from which point extract will start to read again and why?
Extractive will start with 9 a.m. Why? Because it
Now,
has the oldest checkpoint transaction pointed over there.
okay, but is it required the for 9 a.m. one?
Yes, it's required. Already it has pointed as a oldest point transaction.
Okay, fine. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think it has to consider both the checkpoints, so that the oldest open transaction checkpoint and the current checkpoint before the extract got stopped.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Okay, both the uh, answers were absolutely correct actually. So as you are true, so the thing is now, okay, well, let me show in paint itself. I'll choose the color green. So thing is when extract starts again after it failed, so it will first point to the oldest open trail, that is here. So the thing is extract will again try to go to 8th May 9 a.m. Now here there are two options. Either if you have BR recovery bounded, this is just a feature, default one, okay, bounded recovery. I'll explain this afterwards, or archive logs you need to have. The thing is, if you have the archive logs or the bounded recovery file of 9th May, sorry, of 8th May 9 a.m., then extract will easily go and extract it. For example, um, if the archive logs were not there, then we'll have to uh, restore them. Now, since it is only a day, so I think mostly we will have the archive logs. The thing is, when you start the extract at 2 a.m., it will first go and start again reading from 8th May 9 a.m. and here 8th May 9 a.m. and till this phase, okay, till this phase when it is now this is the phase where the extract was po pointing just when it failed. I mean, like suppose extract failed for let me now here I told that extract failed at 1 a.m. na. So suppose at 1 a.m. I had transaction 35. Okay. So thing is, while it was reading transaction 35, which was the current active one at that point at 1 a.m., it was reading here and it failed at this point. So what here, extract will not directly start reading the 1 a.m. one. It will first go to the oldest open transaction. It will read it from there until it comes to the point where it had failed. That is still boot transaction 35. And this is the phase. This vertical line is the phase where we called as recovery phase. I mean, at this point, extract would be in recovery. So this time, extract will be in recovery phase actually. And only when the recovery is over, then it will start to read the current transaction which had failed, current transaction at the point when the extract had failed. Is this okay, clear?
Yes, Shrikant.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
where the extract stores all this information from where it has to go and read.
That is checkpoint file.
Okay.
That is the thing. So all these things, this oldest open transaction, the current write position where it is for writing to the trail, and the current read position, everything is there in the checkpoint file. Now, if you want to view that information, fire this command info extract name show ch. Now here, let me go through. So here, okay. So this is the basic info like info extract. Now here you see current checkpoint details. Now there are two parts. Read checkpoint is the first part. Read checkpoint. So what all it is having? When was the extract started? So that is fine. It is not. It is just an FII. Okay. This will help you to investigate actually like when it was bounced or stopped. That way. Now here you see recovery checkpoint for position of oldest unprocessed transaction in the data source. Look, here is the timestamp. So the thing is, if my extract stops now, it will start from this point. Now, actually, if you see, it is in my environment, there is nothing, long or heavy processing. So the checkpoint is almost like the current one. I mean, now the time is 11:24, so it is 11:23. So it will start from a minute back. All right, as per this output and the current read checkpoint here. So these are like uh, can I arrange the screens once again? Okay, the thing is the 9 a.m. thing, okay, is this one recovery checkpoint of the oldest unprocessed one. So that is the one of the 9 a.m. That is the transaction one, 8th May. Understanding? And the current checkpoint is this one, transaction 30. Understanding? I'm just trying to correlate with the example. BR point, you can, it's not now. For now, you can leave it. Okay. This is the this I will explain why we need this, and also we can turn the BR off. But I would say it is better to have it. I'll explain later why. Okay. For now, these are the basic checkpoint. For read, start, recovery checkpoint, and the current checkpoint. So, okay, another question for you. Mm, okay. For example, extract recovery checkpoint is 10 a.m. and extract was stopped at 11 a.m. Now it's 2 a.m. Okay, 2 p.m. All right. I fire start extract name. Tell me from which point it will start.
From 10.
Okay, who was it? Sorry, Bhaskar. All right. Okay, others? Can you please write in the chat? Okay,
Yeah, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. All right. Divya? Okay. So that is absolutely right. It will start from the recovery checkpoint of that extract. Even though it is start at sorry, even though it is stopped at 11 a.m., it will start from its recovery checkpoint only. Good. So that is the major thing about the checkpoints actually. Where is the uh, and here is the right checkpoint. Right means where? In the local trail. Here, or this diagram is better. Here in the local trail, that is the right checkpoint. So there also it will show you on which trail file sequence it is writing, until what RBA, timestamp, the path, everything, the basic info. So if you want to see this, if you see here, the latest trail is sequence number 3, right? I hope you are able to see it, right? Let me increase the font if you want. Uh, Zoom in, yeah. You understanding? So right checkpoint is the GGS log trail. This is the like the wood trail file itself. So it is writing to sequence 3, RBA 2939. See here, sequence 3, RT0000, last May you have 3, and it is written till this many RBAs. Is this okay? Clear? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And others are the basic info, header information, file block information, and all. All these, I mean, personally, I have not went through them because I never had the need to go through them. Main thing is this one, the read checkpoints and the write ones. Okay, I hope it is clear now. So thing is, now I'll explain you the issue what we face. Again to the question, how to stop an extract. The thing is, always check the recovery checkpoint here. Now, I faced this issue in last week only actually. It can be a bug also, or it can be due to the application session. So when I did the okay, so how one of my teammates, what he did, he stopped the extract, okay, and we had the process to migrate the uh, extract from from server A to server B, okay. So for example, that was the thing. So we stopped the extract and then we did the migration and then we had to start the extract. But when we tried to start the extract, it failed with an error like cannot find the log name, like cannot find the Oracle log name, or it sometimes gives error missing archive log sequence, etc. Okay, it can give either of these error. But I was shocked because like we hardly stopped the extract for 2-3 hours. So why? How come it is missing the log file? Then when I check the recovery checkpoint here, so for example, it's 8th right now. It was almost a month back. The recovery checkpoint was almost a month back. So ideally, I don't think any application team will have a transaction running for more than a month. Ideally, I'm saying. But that was the case here, and that is why it was failing. Alright, so always before stopping the extract, please do a info extract show ch. I would ask, like, in your environment, just do this info extract show ch and just see how far is this recovery checkpoint. Info is a safe statement, so there is nothing to worry about. Okay, and just let me know in the WhatsApp or in the next class how you saw this. Was this nearby or was it too far? Okay, understanding? So because now what? Yeah. So in our case, it's like when the recovery point was more than a month back, all right. So now you have two options: either to recover the archive logs of that whole month, which is actually not feasible because I'm not sure if you guys have. I mean, it's based on the space also, right? You need to have enough space in your uh, reco and all, right? So it's up to that. I mean, like, or else you need to copy the BR files accordingly. So I'll explain the BR file and all, but at the end, I'm saying, I mean, also like in the 11G, I think this was a bug, and we faced this many times. But even I'm seeing this in 12C. So we'll raise an SR once free, and then we'll ask them, why is the recovery checkpoint spanning months now? So what happens exactly, like now here, yeah, I'm not sure here if I can show you that thing. Like how to check, for example, if the recovery checkpoint is too far away. All right. So I just want you guys to do these two things. Fire this command, okay? And if you see the recovery checkpoint is more than a day overnight, just fire this command, show trans tabular, and store the output. Now, in my case, I don't have anything. After this, I will explain you more how to solve it. All right. I have a template. I will form that properly, and then I will show it to you in the next class. But at least for now, is this okay? That how is the extract checkpoint to working? How are they pointing to the oldest open transaction, current open transaction, and the current write position and all? Any doubt into this? Please ask. Okay, everyone is fine here. Thank you.
So
Yeah, please
ideally,
ask.
ideally that recovery checkpoint shouldn't be that long, right? That shouldn't be that old.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Because
If it
in the
is, yeah,
yeah, in real environment, the transactions will not span across days or months or weeks.
months,
So
yeah, days, it's fine. I still agree, 2, 3 days maximum, I will say, but a month, no.
yes, okay.
Or they can be a zombie session from their end or something. I mean, suppose, for example, these, I mean, sessions, I see they come from the web, this one, middleware. I don't know this software. So thing is like they clean up their processes, the app team or the infra, the middleware team actually. So sometimes they don't clean it. Like if they don't bounce that processes, so the sessions they hold a lock actually. And for extract will not take a chance itself. If anything is old, it will have a pointer there. So sometimes even if it is, like, if the recovery point is more than a month, ideally, well, that is not a, I would say, a useful, I mean, session or transaction. So those are only those sessions which are holding some full lock and all. But that's what I have seen. So what we do, we kill those sessions with the help of the app team. Now, how we kill? So for that only, I give you the two statements. First, to identify it. So that what I want in your environment, just go and fire these two, and these are absolutely safe ones because these are just for info only. Okay, there's nothing more. It won't do any ch changes. All it will do, it will show you the recovery checkpoint, and if the checkpoint is much older than 2, 3 days, and in the show trans, it will show you all the transactions on which the extract is, on which the extract is pointing. Once you have that output, well, let me know, then I will explain how to solve it further. And also in the meanwhile, I will prepare a template of how that output, appears. Understanding?
Yes, Rick, thank you.
Welcome, welcome. So let's go next. Okay, so extract checkpoints, read checkpoint points to the transaction log, write checkpoint points to the trail file. As we know, like if for the checkpoint, just remember the input and output. So if you take this diagram, input for the extract is the transaction log, output is the local trail. If you take the pump, the read checkpoint for the pump will be the local trail, the write checkpoint will be the target trail or RMT trail. For the replicate, the read checkpoint would be the RMT trail, and the write checkpoint would be like it is the SCN, I would say, like the database. It is, since it is doing an SQL apply to the target. This is the basic I'm saying. Okay, now let's go a little deep. Now, say since in extract you already saw, right? Even in read you have two types. That is oldest. I mean, one read we will be pointing to the oldest open transaction, Another read would be pointing to the active one current, and we have a write checkpoint which writes to the local trail. So because extract only captures committed transaction, it must keep track of all operations, all of its, I mean, operations in open transaction in the event that any one of them are, I mean, committed. So you understand why extract is pointing, like why we are having the pointer to the oldest open transaction. I hope that point is clear, है ना?
Yes.
Okay. वो real-time issues were running with long running operation BR recovery. So that is the same thing I told you, like where the recovery point is much, I would say, much older. Okay. Now let's come to the pump. Pump is this part, okay? Middle part, very simple. It's going to read from the local trail and write it to the RMT trail. So one read checkpoint will be to the local trail, and in pump there is no need for having any additional read checkpoint as as in the as for the extract for the oldest open transaction, because extract writes only the committed ones, right? So pump has to just blindly read the local trail and write to the RMT trail, because it knows that everything there in the local trail are all required ones, are all the transaction which is required to be transferred to the target, right? So here is the read checkpoint. So here, if you see, transaction 2 and 3 were, were committed at the source side. So they have been written to the local trail, and the pump is reading transaction 2 now, and it has also written. So the right checkpoint also. Is this okay? Clear? Pump 1. Thank you. Now, here is where the replicate comes. Replicate, as the name says, it will read from the RMT trail and write to the database. All right. One thing more here.
Just one
Yeah.
query.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a default nature of the remote trail file, it will write the data in a bunch. Okay, before writing to the target database, if
Mm-hmm.
the replicate is fail in this
Mm-hmm.
scenario, what
Mm.
happens or how it happens?
So you are saying that, 1 second. Let me open the diagram. Okay. So you are saying that one, like the pump is writing to the RMT trail and replicate fails, है ना?
Yes,
Okay, very simple. If the replicate fails here, that's okay. We'll have a lag in the target end, like this. Or replicate is abandoned, or suppose it is abandoned for 2-3 hours, then you'll have here 2 hours here. But this will not affect my pump, because my pump is writing to the RMT trail, and here the target, the server collector, the manager process are all up. So
yes.
if they're all up, it will keep on writing to the RMT trail. And once you solve the replicate issue, then it will start, you know, uh, reading, from the RMT trail here.
Okay, if a scenario comes that it was writing at trail file number 10 and it has
Mm,
generated the multiple 12, 13, 14.
correct, correct.
So it will continue from the 10 and it will recover all those, write
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those
it has
data.
to. Yes, yes, it has to,
Okay.
right? If you don't want to miss the data, I mean, we don't have any other option. You need to make your replicate read all the trail files which were sent by the pump, everything. Or else, if you want to skip the trail file, then also then there will be data loss. Okay. And yes, again, I'm saying this important point, do not blindly skip the trail files. Don't try to handle that. You might end up spoiling the data. I mean, if you're okay with the data mismatch or the data loss, okay, fine. Your hands are free. But in the ideal scenario, do not ever try to skip either the pump trail or the replicate trails. That's strictly against the standard. I mean, it shouldn't. I mean, like, but that will, I mean, knowingly cause the data loss. Okay, so don't attempt that. Like, if you're having some thousand trails, for example, the replicate was stopped for 2-3 hours, and the pump has already sent 1,000 trails. It's fine. Make your replicate read all those trails. Try to make it perform faster, but do not make it skip the trails. Okay, clear?
Actually, yeah, clear. Just want to go a little step back at the extract. Okay.
Okay,
Uh, what happens now? So I have the oldest point. Okay. However, the extract has been failed for 1 hour.
okay, okay,
So what we decided that to terminate the oldest point manually.
okay, okay.
So when it starts, it will check the again the oldest point, and there will be no data there. So what will be
Uh,
the
it will, so, I mean, what it will do, since it will try to go to the, suppose, this point, the transaction one, and if it is not there, it will just skip it,
okay?
and find the next oldest one.
Okay,
No,
got it.
nothing. It will just find. Okay, and if it is finding that, I mean, like, first thing, it will try to find the uh, archive log and all for that. And if the logs are not intact, then you have an issue. So
Got
the
it.
logs have to be there. If it is, if the recovery point is only of 2-3 hours back or 2-3 days back, I mean, like, till the time we have your archive logs intact, so it's fine. But if it is 1 month, 2 months, then of course I understand you will have to kill those transactions. Okay? Any other?
Okay.
So when the trial files are getting filled up continuously, let's say there is an issue with the replicate or something. Uh, once the replicate is start, how the space is going to clear from the trial files? It's keep
Okay.
on filling it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. What that is right. So thing is, in the manager param file, we have a parameter. I will explain that more in the when I cover the manager. But since you asked, we have this parameter purge old trail something, okay? And then you give some parameters like use checkpoint and min keep days or min keep hours, etc., or min keep files. So based on this parameter, it will clean. If you keep only min keep hours as 2 hours or 3 hours, so even though the replicate has processed those trails until 3 hours passed, a manager will not clean it.
Mhm.
Understand? So that is the way. So in case if you face such an issue, then you need to do your calculations. So, for example, the trail files are filling really fast, and replicate is not power. I mean, it is not able to perform that fast, then you'll have to reduce these pointers, or you have keep minutes also, right? So that way.
Okay.
For that, we have to decide according to your environment, like how much space you have, okay, how much we can do it, and all, etc.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Any other?
No.
Okay, thank you. Now this is the last replicate, sorry, the checkpoint. That is the replicate checkpoint. So replicate creates checkpoint for its position in the trail. Okay. Before that, I would like to show you, like I showed you how the uh, checkpoint of the pump, sorry, of the extract appears. So let me show you for the pump. I hope it will be up. Okay. Okay, this was so many hours. All right. Either you do this pump int show ch for the pump also. Now see here, for the pump side, I hope you know both the input and output are trails only. Input is local trail, output is RMT trail. So again, startup checkpoint will be there, which trail file it, from which trail file it started to read last. Currently on which trail file it is trying to read from the local trail, and where it is trying to write now in the RMT trail. Same thing you have here also. Or you can do a send pump status also. Here, currently it is reading from 6 and writing to 2. Okay, if you want to check this, this is the local trail here. So 6 is the latest trail sequence, RBS 1457 RMT trail. So I'll have to check in the target server here. See here. 1 second. Current current write is 2, and here it also we are having 2, RBS 1503 1503. All right. So this is the way for pump. I'm actually showing you what I was trying to explain here. Here for the pump, the read point is the local trail and the write point is the RMT trail. So how you actually view it, this is the way. Okay, is it okay? Clear?
Can you please 1 second repeat that?
Okay. For the pump side, okay. For the pump, what is the input or the source?
Local trail files.
Local trail file. So it is reading from the local trail file. And what is the output?
Remote trail files.
Remote trail file, right? So thing is, what it will do, it will read from the local trail and write to the output trail or the RMT trail. So thing is, uh, checkpoint process or the checkpoint info will help you to understand that currently which local trail it is reading and to which remote trail it is writing. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
detail information. So here, when I do send pump status name, here I am saying, okay, currently it is reading local trail, that is the ext trail at sequence 6, that is the trail sequence 6, and RBS this. So since it's a local trail, it is available in the source server itself, है ना? Right?
Yes.
So
Yes,
here
sir.
I can see two files, one of sequence 5 and 6. So 6 is the latest one, which it is reading now, and RV is 1457. Wait, so it means that it has read till the end of the this trail. I mean the whole trail it has read. So that is the local trail. RMT trail. Now this is the current write. Write means where the remote trail,
RMT.
right?
Yes, yes.
RMT trail. So this is the target OGG here. So here, if I check, it is showing sequence number 2, RBA 1503. So here the latest sequence is also the same thing, right? 2 RBS 1503. So with this, we can actually see more information. Exactly at which point it is reading and which point it is writing.
Yeah, thanks, Shri, for
Yeah,
repeating.
thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Everyone else, I hope it is clear, right?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. Now, let's go for the replicate. Replicate creates checkpoint for its position in the trail. I'll just first go through it and then I will show you again. Replicate stores its checkpoint in a checkpoint table in the target database to couple the commits of a transaction with position trail. Okay. So thing is, okay, this I think I will take tomorrow because here I will have to explain to you checkpoint table now here. All right. So I'll stop here because it will be too much for a day. But anything like any doubt in all the today's class, anything?
Shri, like the trail has extracted the data, okay, and the database is down for any reason. So it will process the when it starts, so it will process the committed transactions, whatever it is there in the local trail. Is it?
Okay.
Or
Uh, okay. Are you saying the source database crashed? Okay, right?
yes,
So what will happen at that point? From which point the extract and pump will read? Is that
yes,
your question?
yes.
No,
This is
no
my
issues.
question.
Uh, even if the source is crashed, okay? Even if the source is crashed, again, extract will blindly look for its recovery checkpoint only. See, extract is reading the redo logs, right? So
Yes,
it's totally dependent on the entry of archive and redo log. Even if the database crashes and once it is brought up, extract will again go and see the logs only. And from the same old from and will try to point to this point only, oldest open transaction for the uh, extract. And pump will not be affected because pump will just wait for the local trail to be, I know, updated by the extract. Pump will nowhere is concerned if the database is up or down. It is just concerned if my trail file is updated or not. But yes, if the source database is down, extract will not be working, even extract will be abandoned, and if extract is abandoned, even the local trail it will not be updated. So in case if the source data, I mean database is down, extract will fail with the error like Aura 113 database not available or I mean, shut down in progress, all these errors. It will
okay.
again start from its recovery point only. Yeah,
Uh,
but if you're saying that the redo and uh, archive are corrupted, then it's an issue. Then we are in trouble.
if suppose like source is available and a switch
Hmm.
has been made from the primary to standby, Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Understood.
Okay. So at that point, there is a missing. There is a gap of the archives. So how it?
Okay. Thing is, hmm, a nice one that, but that was nice question. Now, uh, so you mean to say, first, well, let me help to understand if I got to, I mean, if I got your question right. Okay. Stand by here. Correct. So you mean to say that this primary of mine is having a standby also, and it is also having a target OGG. Is it right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, my understanding is right, na? Correct. So now here you are saying that if there is a switch of role, so now the standby becomes primary. The standby becomes primary, and the source, which was the earlier primary, becomes standby. Right? Now this is the case, है ना?
Yes.
Right?
This is the
Okay.
scenario. Yeah.
The thing is, when this happens, your ideally your e- extract has to be stopped when you're doing this switch over. Okay. Now, if it is not stopped, if it is a fail over thing, but don't worry, your extract will fail here
Mhm.
because extract cannot directly run in the standby. If it is an integrated extract, it will never run on the standby because for integrated, it needs to, update some tables of the log miner. So thing is, since standby is a read only one, since it is read only, integrated extract will never work on the standby. For classic, it will work, but there are few more steps you have to do. Without that, even classic will not work. But yes, since you have done a switch over, what I will say, let's do one thing. Update the TNS entry here, right? Update the TNS to point to the new primary. This is the easiest and less headache way actually. So make your, you'll have the DNS, you will have the database info, right? Like here in this extract, EBEXT, right? So you have this, right? Make sure that this DNS entry points to the new primary. So here I will update the DNS entry and my extract will start reading from here. So if it is reading from the new primary, again it is good because this will also have the same archives and all, right? This is block by block copy, whatever, right? So all the settings I expect it to be same. Like if you have the supplemental logging enabled here, it should be enabled here also, right? Since the block by block copy. Only thing which can be an issue is like we have another parameter that is enable golden gate replication equal to true. This has to be true. So thing is, if there is a mismatch in the parameter level, then yes, this extract will not work in the standby. So again, you have to set this parameter also here. Then it's fine. Right? But as it is, extract will not work from the standby. You have to make it work from the new primary. So editing the DNS name is the easiest way. You understand me?
Yeah, got it. Uh, it can be a same scenario for the if it is source is in the bidirectional and the other server is unidirectional.
Yeah, so at that case, you'll have to update the entry for the for replicate also, right? See, even it is bidirectional, all you need to make sure that it is pointing to the new primary. It
Okay,
does not matter if it is a uni or a bidirectional because here we are talking in terms of standby and primary.
got it, Shri.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.